You know what's the fun part about like anime nowadays is like there's a lot of great anime out there that are recooking old recipes, and that's not a bad thing. Let me just tell you, as someone who's watched anime for years and years and years, I'm totally old. Also, hi, welcome to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the vibes. Come subscribe. Come talk about anime with me. Come see some bad takes. Come laugh with me. And also, let's keep waiting for Tagashi to return together. Come on, let's do it. So, when you see a lot of anime, some of them are generic. And one such generic anime recently ended, but let me just tell you, it does generic in a really great freaking way. And like Hell's Paradise, like, I'm not dissing it when I say that. I'm saying this is a formula I have seen before, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just tell you, there's many a great generic anime that came in, made a splash, and left, and I had a good freaking time. Let's not forget that anime is entertainment. It's also many other things, but it is also entertainment. And Hell's Paradise is by far entertainment. The intermingling of character writing and motivations and reversals within this season were chef's kiss perfection. And this very foreboding, like, pressure from the Azuras that were coming to the island, though they were given a little bit too many flashbacks, like either they were going to arrive or they're not, or they're pushing it to the next season, which, you know, sometimes you can tell when an anime is not trying to like jump through everything. Like, you can tell when the direction is like, no, that's for next season. You can always tell sometimes. But when you really think about Hell's Paradise, it is a fun ride where Gabimaru continues to elevate and certain other characters continue to elevate. And there was so much tension between like finally getting over on the Tencent in real ways and like facing the Tencent in different places. Like, these showdowns and these fights were totally worthwhile, though some of them were a little bit of a letdown. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt as though they were not, let me just say, they weren't very like back and forth. They were more like, we need to get to this goal and our main characters are eventually going to get there. Like, I didn't necessarily believe anyone was going to die. Now, that's just me. I understand how main characters work, but I do feel as though we were not given the attention that maybe, at least in the manga, I think was a bit more there. That's just a personal critique. But let me just tell you, the Sakuga, the directions of the stories, the way they were animating, from the struggles and the amount of chapters they were adapting in each episode, Hell's Paradise across the board, this season 2 is worthwhile, wonderful, and they did a hell of a job. And also the music was skillfully put in there. The sound design was like wonderful. So let me just leave my tiny critique out of it. With this new season, we have a growing tension that begins to boil over, and now the Tenzin are trying to travel, spoiler alert, towards the mainland, you know, get to the humans, kill some people, you know the vibes, use them for Tao. I mean, classic villain stuff. Like, is this anything new that we could have objectively figured out?
まずは貴様の仲間、組織的なものなら詳細を説明せよ。言いよどむな。時間の無駄だ。
This idea of the elixir, whatever that's gonna end up being, the anime is doing what it does successfully, and it's making you excited for the next episode. And Gabimaru and some of his teammates are trying to figure out themselves and how they can beat the Tenzen. I love the power system. Let me just let you know. Hell's Paradise and the idea of understanding Tao and understanding the attributes of each Tao adds an extra layer of thought process into how to beat the Tensen. One of the characters does discover a little bit of another way to work around this, and we have another character who has a bit of a better understanding since he does what he does with the Tensen. The anime has this way of giving us so many snapshots into each character's movement throughout the story, and it felt endearing because there is a growing shift in mindset and understanding. Like, we've seen a lot of different characters' mindsets change and shift because, well, battle, because like either you adapt or die. That's very much so what this anime is showcasing. Also, very often there's this moment where the Tensen are stuck versus like the humans that continue to adapt and understand and catch up to their level and get to the point where they can fight. They can be successful in a melee against these otherworldly beings. And the cracks are noticeable within our characters because they were once human, so they have a level of consciousness. And also that consciousness has a level of derangement that I personally am glad the anime is showcasing. Like, you got to be a little bit crazy to, I guess, end up in this situation. Like, I don't necessarily think there's any real normal person that's in this story. And that's showcased from the Azuras to the Tensen to the ninjas. Like, everyone's insane to some level of degree. And that's enjoyable to watch. Let me just tell you, combat is an insane thing to be a part of. I do like combat sports, so like there's some level of crazy in every single one of us. It's just, you know, we got modern society, you know, which the Azuras represent, but they have their own derangement. The anime is fun. I enjoyed our characters. I also enjoyed the understanding of how human beings were able to overwhelm, I guess, every other species on the planet. Like, our ability to adapt, think, and use what's in front of us and like think on it. Like, human beings are magical. Like, we do stuff that's incredible. And yeah, I wish we were nicer, you know? That would be cool. The anime was a 4 out of 5 because I could just tell how they were adapting things personally from chapter to chapter and episode to episode. I could just tell that there was a certain level of climax. Now, there was a good cliffhanger. This season has some really good cliffhangers that I have to acknowledge when like the director understands where they want to leave off. But I do wish when like they're cooking, they decide to let that pot just simmer, you know? So, thank you for making it to the rest of the video. What moment was your favorite? Did you like a lot of different characters? Breakthroughs, I love a good breakthrough. It makes me feel like something is changing, and I don't know, it makes our characters feel like real. Besides that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourself, be well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.